Okay. Hello, Yuan. Hello, Yuan. How are you? Can you turn on the microphone so I can hear you? Okay, and then we need to get started on today's lessons, okay? Now today we are going to move on to common SAT reading questions. Okay, so you can tell me what this is about, okay? So no worries, if you are in front of YouTube, you can also let me know what this is, okay? Because actually we only have a few months before we have our first SAT, right? Especially in high school, 学测, 新型学测. But I want to teach you how to use the reading questions for your textbook reading, okay? So right now, let's take a look at this right here. There are high school textbooks. Let me present that to you. No worries. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, are you ready? Now, this is the one. Okay, take a look at this. We are going to do something right here, and I want to share this with you guys. Okay, I hope we can use it again and again, again and again. So no worries. So I won't have to say that so many times. And we have common SAT Scholastic Aptitude Test reading questions. Especially for reading comprehensions, you got some questions. Okay, so you see, this is a piece of reading. Okay, this is another kind of reading from high school textbooks. Okay, this is another kind of reading from our textbooks. This is our reading from our textbook and also from 学测 SAT as well. And I want to ask you this question. Usually, we have to answer some basic questions like, which of the following is the best title for this passage? Or, what is the blah, blah, blah mainly about? Or, which of the following sentences best states the main idea of the passage? So you let me know what sentence can state the main idea of the passage, or what is the purpose, 目的 of this passage. So shall we do that together? Okay, let's try this. We try the first one first. Okay, maybe that'll be easier. So you can see equal rights have been fought for in different countries. Women became active in pursuing their own voting rights in the late 19th century. Okay, now let me mark some key words. In the late 19th century, in 1893, and in 1902 next. And until 6 years later, and then during this time, in 1915, after World War I, in 1920, in 1946, in 2015, more recently. So you see, what's the title? What's the title about? Yes, you got it. Yes, you got it. This is about the history, right? The history of women's rights. Got it? We are talking about the history. Got it? The history of the women's rights. You can see the history according to the time differences. Can you see that? Okay. So you can see, you can use the best title to think about our reading. Okay, what is blah, blah, blah mainly about? Usually just key ideas, right? So for example, right here we got another reading. Tommy lies between blah, blah, blah. Our village is a place, blah, blah, blah. At first, it was mainly about blah, blah, blah. Our trouble began in the early 1990s, blah, blah, blah. And workers lost their job, blah, blah. Just when we thought it couldn't get any worse. The terrible 9/21 9/11 earthquake struck. Overnight, blah, blah, blah. So the first one, you can see our troubles began, and then overnight, later on, they're all about what? Troubles. So if I ask you, what is the first paragraph about? Your key point is about what? Troubles, disaster, destroyed. Did you see? So everything is related to disasters. In which paragraph? The first paragraph. So the first paragraph is about disaster. Got it? Did you get it? So you can see what is blah, blah, blah mainly about. That means actually it is related to what? It is related to the key point, the key idea, key ideas in the reading. Got it? The key ideas in the reading. Okay, did you get it? The key ideas in the reading. Okay? So what about if I ask number 3, it's very common. What is the purpose of this passage? Purpose of this passage. 目的. If I want to ask you, oh, what is the purpose of the reading? So usually purpose is like this. Okay? Be careful. The purpose of the reading. Right now, purpose. Don't forget, purpose we use PIE. P-I-E. Hello, I'll come back later. Okay. Hello, Chen Yao, how are you? How are you? Chen Yao, can you turn on the microphone? Bye-bye. Okay, now you tell me, what is the reading about? We got the author's purpose pie. What is pie? P-I-E. P means what? Persuade, 说服. You got it. To convince somebody, right? So is the reading about convincing others? Number 2, to inform. Inform means what? To introduce, right? Inform means to introduce some knowledge to others. So let me write down, introduce. Okay, introduce, intro, to give you an introduction to some ideas, right? Entertain means to make you feel it is fun, or sometimes we say explain. E can also be not just entertain, it can also be explain. Got it? Explain. Got it? So far, do you have any question? Okay, easy breezy, right? Okay, so persuade, 说服, inform, 通知, entertain, or explain, 解释. So let's take a look at the paragraph right here. What's the purpose of the reading? What's the purpose of the reading? Okay, let's go over this very quickly. I will give you 2 minutes. Help me read this first and tell me, what does it want to say? What's the purpose of the writing? Is it, number 1, to introduce, to inform you of something? Or number 2, it wants to explain or entertain? Or it wants to persuade, 说服, blah, blah, blah. What does it want to do? So you tell me. I will give you 2 minutes. Let's do, skip reading, speedy reading very fast. Okay? 2 minutes, go. One minute and 30 seconds. Thirty seconds. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding dong, ding dong. Okay, now, here's what we are gonna do. Tell me, what does it want to introduce? Does it want to entertain you? Does it want to entertain you? 让你觉得很快乐吗? No, this is a kind of reading that can help you try to understand how to plan your trip carefully. How to plan your trip carefully, right? To save money. So that's why we need to pay attention to how the trip can be planned carefully. Got it? So number one, it can be what? Number one, first, think about how to save money. Another thing to consider is, above all means the most important thing is, so tell me, what does it inform you of? Yes, you got it. Very good. That means this one is about what? To inform you, 通知你 or to inform you of how to save money for your trip. Inform you of how to save money for your trip. Got it? This is what we call PI, to introduce or inform or to persuade, or entertain means to make you feel happy, or sometimes you can also say explain. All right. The next one is another kind of question you can see in SAT 学测 as well. What is this? Which of the following statements is true about blah blah blah? That means which is true or which is not true. So how do we answer this kind of question? If you ask this kind of question when you read, you always have to ask yourself 5 W's, 1 H. Now take a pen and write it down. 5 W's and 1 H. Got it? Did you get it? Good. Okay, 5 W's and 1 H. When, where, why, how, who, what in a passage. For example, right here. Can we go here? Okay, this one. The first paragraph. Let's read this carefully. Let's just read the first paragraph. Okay, only the first paragraph. Researchers from a university in Japan have developed that can play tricks with one's perception of food, which could be helpful to people on a diet. A camera and a view system are built into these glasses. As the wearer brings the food toward their mouth, the camera captures an image of the food. It replaces the image back through the glasses after processing it on an attached computer. The size of food they're about to eat is magnified, while that of their hand remains normal. And their brain is tricked into thinking they are eating more than they really are. The study showed participants who wore the glasses ate 9.3 less than those who did not wear them. So, can you tell me? Help me finish. Let's do this. Who? Can you tell me who is in the text? Who is in the text? Researchers from university in Japan, right? Who? What did they do? They got diet glasses, 食物眼镜 that can play tricks, that will lie to you, right? Okay, and then, so you got researchers, okay, what has done what, okay, and when, do we know when? From the past to the present, right? 从过去到现在 have developed, right? When, this is when. And where do we know that in Japan? And then, how do they do it? It's very simple. When the wearer brings the food toward their mouth, the camera will take a picture of the food, okay? And then why is that? Helpful. to people on a diet. It can be helpful to people on a diet. It's super, super, super helpful because you will eat less. You will eat less. You will eat less. You don't eat a lot. You will eat less, right? Okay. So when, where, why, how, who, what. We have done this. Did you understand? So they are what we call details. 细节. You have to find out whether they are true or they are not true based on this. Okay? Now, what about the next one? Organization, 组织. I've already talked about organization so many times when it comes to our review of the reading text in 高二 in 11th grade. But let me review some questions for you just in case. So if you got any question, you let me know, okay? If you're in front of YouTube, if you got any question, you can also ask in the chat room or in the comments. You can also ask me any question. 你可以问我任何问题 Joe will be here to help you out, okay? When it comes to 组织, sometimes you'll see this kind of question because that means we should be careful about each paragraph and how are they developed. 它们是怎么被透过篇章组织在一起的, right? Question 1. How does the author begin the passage? So right now, let's go back. Okay. How does the writer begin the passage? Okay. The writer begins by, Tommy lies between Salmon Lake and Puri. Surrounded by green hills, our village is a place rich in natural history. How does the writer begin the text? An introduction to where Tommy is, right? Okay, introduction to where it is, what it looks like. Got it? Okay, now, what about this one? How does this one begin? Okay, it talks about the problem of traveling abroad, right? Taking a trip. It costs a lot of money. Did you see? It costs a lot of money. Did you see that? It costs you a lot of money. Okay, how does it begin? Okay, now this one begins with a study. A study, right? Researcher, blah, 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 have developed a diagnosis, blah, blah. And what is the research like? What is the study like? Okay, so you can see there are some questions here. How does the author, the writer, begin the passage? 它是怎么开始一个段落的? Sometimes it can be a definition, 定义. Sometimes it mentions an incident, mentioning a story. A story. Or giving a backstory, 介绍背景故事, giving a backstory. Got it? Or sometimes it provides what? Statistics. What is statistics? Numbers, figures, right? Got it? Figures or number. Sometimes it compares different people's responses, right? So you can see, how does the author begin the passage? Or how does the writer conclude the passage? Conclude means what? Summary. 总结. How does the writer sum up? How does the writer sum up the reading? Got it? Okay. So be careful about this. Be careful about this. Okay? So you can see, adding new details, predicting, 预测, summarizing, mentioning them again, or giving advice. Okay, so you can see How does it conclude? 它是怎么摘要的呢？ Let's take a look at this. Maybe it will be easier. Now let's take a look at this. How does it end? How does this one end? Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The ending. In this way, you will both save money and learn to be independent on your trip. Okay, so there are several ways. Don't forget, there are several ways to do when you travel independently. Because of these, you will both save money and learn to be independent, 独立 on your trip. So you can see how does the writer end this? 他怎么做总结的？ Does it talk about summarizing the main points? Does it add new details? No, not new details. Does it predict 预测 about what will happen? No. Does it give you new advice? No, I don't see that. Maybe just summing up the main points, right? But this one is not so specific. 这里的它只有一句话, so we don't see that clearly, right? So you better think about how each paragraph is summarized. Like this, we don't see the conclusion carefully. 结论句不明显. But you see, because it's only time, it's not conclusion. So if you read our textbook, 如果我们读的是教科书, read our textbook, for example. Let's use one of the textbooks as an example, so you don't feel confused. Slash career, 斜杠. Okay, how does the writer conclude? Fortunately, today's youth don't need to compromise. They have many careers. Besides, a slash career is beneficial because it shows different opinions. Today, job satisfaction and work-life balance have greater value. All in all, a slash career is definitely the mainstream 主流 in the future. How does the writer conclude? Definitely summing up the ideas, right? Summing up the ideas, right? So, and also offering her or his opinion because he or she says it is beneficial, 很有意义, very beneficial, very good, remember? So they can have a lot of marvelous careers, right? So you can see right here, it not only summarizes the main points, but also tells you it is good, so do it, right? It's the mainstream, so just giving some advice. Okay? Now, what about organization? I like this one. This one is super, super, super important. So let's read it together. How is the information about blank organized? Okay, let's start. How is the information blank organized? Maybe I will simplify this. So that means, how is the information developed? Number one, in order of importance. In order of importance means first, second, last but not least. Or B, in the order of time. In the order of time, it's about time. Or C, cause and effect. Is it about 因果关系? Is it about cause and effect? Is it about the reason? Is it about the impact? 影响? Sorry. Typo. Or is it about classification, division? 分类 division. like be divided into. Divided into. There are different kinds of categorizations, right? Different kinds of categories. 有不同的分类 remember? Categories, right? So how's information organized? 组织 Is it about importance, time, cause and effect, and classification? So let's take a look at this right here. This one, time. So this is in the order of what? Time. Very good. What about this one? First, another thing to consider, above all, 最重要的是 blah, blah, blah. Above all means most important of all, right? So tell me, what is it about? Oh my goodness, you got it. You are right. You are super right. Okay, it is what? In the order of importance, right? Above all, last but not least. Got it? So here, we got 2 here for the readings, okay? But we still have a lot, so better read carefully, okay? Or sometimes the organization can be like, by definition, 定义, by comparison, comparing 2 things like this one. Let me show you. Like, comparison and contrast. Then, diagram. So you can see right here, compare dogs and cats. Compare tours and backpacking. So which one is good? Similarities and differences, 相似 or 相异. So you can use them here. Got it? You can use them here. Got it? Okay. So far so good? Now, let's move on to the next one. Context clues. Context clues means you need to use the context, 上下文, to guess the meanings. Like, number 1, example, 例子, synonym, similar words, antonym, 反义词, or hypernyms,上位词, 下位词. Got it? So you need to use these things to help you understand how to read carefully. Remember? Be careful. They can help you read. Okay? They can help you read. Use the context, 上下文. Okay? So for example, here. Let's take a look at this article here. Okay? Let's read this. If you don't know certain words, what should we do? Okay? The team has also developed a special device. Joe, I don't know this word device. Okay, stop right here. You don't know the word? You don't know the word? Stop. You don't know the word? Continue. Which uses scent bottles and visual trickery. Visual trickery. I don't know visual, okay? Visual trickery, okay? To make the wearers of these classes think the planned snack they're eating is tastier than it actually is. The device, okay, again, device, again, I don't know, can be set to release your favorite, to give you your favorite flavor. Recent experiment with this device, I still don't know device, okay, showed 80% of the participants were fooled by the smell. For example, somebody thought they were eating a chocolate snack, but in fact, they were not. Okay. So what is device? Device which uses blah, 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 and to make the wearers of these glasses think. Okay. Don't forget, they already have to wear something. Do you remember? There are some special glasses. There are special machines, 机械. So don't forget, they are related. 它们是有相关的. Their relationship. They are similar. Okay, so you can use this to guess. Device means what? Machine. Very good. Okay, machine. What about other words? Can we guess about other words? Okay. Can we guess what does it mean by saying, okay, this one. I don't know this word, grant. G-R-A-N-T. Grant. I don't know. I don't know this word, obstacle. What should I do? Use the example or use synonym, 同义词. Okay. Equal rights have long been fought for in different countries. Okay? People around the world have overcome many blank obstacles, 克服了很多 blank to get the right to vote, including adult women, and they became active in pursuing their rights. And then New Zealand was the first country to grant their right. The right to give was only given. Given is the synonym of what? Given is the synonym of what? 是什么的同义词啊？噔噔噔噔噔 Right here, grant. So given means grant. That means give you something, right? To give you something. Got it? So here, don't be afraid. If you don't know the word, you can use synonym 同义词 right here to guess the word meanings, right? Synonym, okay? Or antonym or happening, 上位词 or happening, or examples or similar things from the context to guess the word meanings. Got it? Okay. So don't be afraid to guess, but you should guess in the right way. Okay, now let's move on. Inferred ideas. Inferred means what is not mentioned. In the reading. What is not mentioned in the reading, but you need to get the meaning from the reading, okay? Got it? So usually you see what can be inferred about, okay? Which of following can be inferred, 推论 about blah, blah, blah. So you can see. Let's take a look at the reading right here. Okay. Can we read the last one about independent traveling or backpacking? Follow my cursor, 来跟着我 Are you ready? Above all, don't forget to make a budget for food. In some countries, eating out can cost you an arm and a leg. This is context clue. Make a budget, 预算 cost you an arm and leg. Cost you a lot of money. Okay, so they are context clue, but this is not context clue. I want inferences, 推论 that is not in the reading. Okay, to be economical, you can rent apartment where you will have access to a kitchen. Okay, here we have an inference. 我们来推论。Hotels and apartment. Which one will the writer recommend? Hotel or apartment? Which will the writer recommend? This is an inference, right? Apartment, 公寓 or hotel, 旅馆. Which one will the writer recommend, 建议 or suggest? Does the writer mention hotel? No. So this is an inference 推论. Did you get it? So you can rent apartments. So the writers suggest renting apartment. Okay, renting apartment. Okay, so because you can be economical, you can save a lot of money, and you can have access to a kitchen. Got it? Save money. Okay, so for inferences, it's not that difficult. It's super easy to get what is not mentioned in the reading by using what you already know. Okay, now the last one is the most difficult one, which I think. Okay, now let's take a look at this together. Now let's take a look at this together. What is the author's attitude towards blah, blah, blah? The writer's attitude or tone, 态度 or 口气 of the reading. Okay, this is really common in a lot of readings. Okay, so I want you to think about this. What is the writer's attitude? Usually we use the last paragraph and guess the attitude, right? Let's guess the writer's attitude, right? Okay. What is the writer's attitude towards Tommy? What is the attitude? Can we read it? Let's read the last 3 lines about this. Let's guess the attitude, 态度. Slowly but surely, news about the new village of Tommy started to spread. More tourists came and we grew. To this day, we have managed to thrive on the challenges we face and are proud of being residents here. So what is the writer's attitude towards Tommy? Ironic, 讽刺吗? Optimistic, 主观吗? 乐观吗? Or negative, 负面吗? So tell me which one. We have managed. We are proud of. We are together. We are all in this together. Do you remember? So good news. So you can see the words right here. Thrive. Thrive means prosper. 繁荣, right? Prosper. Prosper. Remember? We are proud of. So tell me, what is the attitude right here? We can choose admiring. I love it. Or optimistic, right? Admiring or optimistic, right? Okay? Optimistic. Right? If it is objective, 客观, that means the writers won't use a lot of adjectives, okay? If it is doubtful, 怀疑 or suspicious, means I want to ask questions. I'm questioning. And it is harsh, that means critical, 批评, and that is not good, right? And pessimistic means very sad, okay? So that is also not good here. Okay, what about another one? In this way, you will both save money and learn to be independent on your trip. So what is the author's attitude? Does the author support independent traveling? Obviously, yes, right? Because he says, do it. You can do, you need to think. So definitely, this is the writer's opinion. So that's why the writer's opinion is admiring again, optimistic or positive. Very positive, right? 乐观的, 正面的. Okay? Or some questions like this can also show up in SAT 学测 as well. Like this. Which of the following best captures blah, blah, blah? Or What advice would the author give to those who blah blah blah? Better late than never. 三思而后行, look before you leap. Make hay while the sun shines. 打铁趁热, or no pain, no gain. Something like this. So, but I want to talk about the last one. The last one is about source. Where does the reading come from? Where does the passage most likely appear? Where is it? Number one, on an app. Number two, on a website. Number three, in a booklet. What is a booklet? Let me show you. We call that booklet. Did you see that? Okay. Or encyclopedia. What is encyclopedia? You know Wikipedia, right? Encyclopedia is like this. Voila. Did you see that? A book with a lot of knowledge, right? So where does the article appear? Means where does it come from? Okay. So this one, where does it come from? History book, right? History book, right? Perhaps history book because it's about the history. Number two, where does it come from? Tell me, right? Tell me, right? Maybe it's from news. Maybe it's from news. 新闻, remember? Maybe it's a feature article. Okay, 专栏文章. Okay, the next one, it's about traveling. So it comes from what kind of magazine? Maybe it's about this kind of magazine, okay? Maybe it comes from this kind of travel magazine. Maybe it's from a travel magazine that suggests going, backpacking. Travel magazine, travel magazine, travel magazine, travel magazine. Got it? Maybe. What about the last one? The last one is about science. Science, right? So it can be related to some popular science magazine, 科普文章, popular science magazine, like this. Remember, popular science, 科普文章, got it? Maybe it's about this, popular science magazine, a lot of popular science magazine like this, talking about one interesting scientific experiment, right? So you can see from each reading, you have to think about several questions. Let's review what we learned today. Number one, title or purpose, 目的 or main ideas. Not just the first paragraph, but also each topic sentence of each paragraph and also conclusion. Number two, details. Don't forget about 1H and 5 W's. Don't forget about this. Sorry, I'm a little bit tongue-tied. Okay, 打舌了. Next, don't forget about organization of a kind of article. Okay, the order of the article. Is it about importance? Is it about time? Is it about cause and effect? Is it about division, 分类? Or is it about comparison? Or is it about space? And what about context clues? From the context, the previous sentence and the following sentences, how do we know this? Okay, maybe we can use examples or similar words or other ways to say that, or even collocation, 搭配字. Remember? Collocations, right? Collocations, right? So we can also use them right here, okay? Collocations. Inferred means we can get something that is not mentioned in the reading, something like this. Lastly, we can try to get the tones, attitudes, or moral lesson. What does the reading want to teach us? What is the lesson? This one. 三思而后行 or any other lessons, or women can protect themselves, like the Little Red Riding Hood, no more hunters are in the story. And sources, where do the stories come from? Or where do the texts come from? And there are some common reading questions on the SAT for 高二学生, for the 11th graders, because when you are in 12th graders, you will see them again and again, again and again. And that's all for today. I hope you have a blast. Stay home, stay safe. If you want to learn more about English, you can also go here. Let me Google. You can also go to this radio show, 魔法英语. Okay, go here and Magic English right here. You can go to this place and listen to the radio show right here. Magic English. You can listen to the show right here. Okay, and then you can also learn, because this is National Education Radio. Joe is also here teaching English on National Education Radio. You can also go to our Facebook, okay? You can listen to the show. Like today, we are gonna teach you about coronavirus English. Stay home, save lives, and help stop coronavirus right here. Or you can go to our Facebook fan page, Magic English Window on the World fan page. You can also go there and Facebook. Let me teach you. And then you go there, voila. And then you can also see some radio show right here, okay? Me and Lena, a junior high school teacher, we are right here, and give us likes and listen to the show or call in the future, okay? And that's all for today. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a blast learning English. Bye-bye. Good luck. Bye-bye. See you. Good luck. Take care.